Oh, we had an empty slide. So next, book list. Now, there are two NCERT books. Now, please pay attention. Please don't ask me again and again about this thing. Should I study? Should I not study? I'll clarify it here only. There are two class 9th and 10th NCERT books. Democratic Politics 1 and 2. Anyone who is in the first year onwards in college, they need not study these two books. They are very basic in nature. But if you want to, you may. Who is stopping you? Nobody. But not required. You can skip it completely. Are you clear? But if you want to give it a casual read, nobody cares. Are we clear? Not required. These two books can be skipped completely. Okay? All clear on this? We have two more NCERT books. Now class 11th. Political Theory class 11th and Indian Constitution at Work class 11th. These two books have 10 chapters each. This book must be read. Very simple. Do this task. From today onwards, what you will do is every day read one chapter from this book. Okay? Go home, read one chapter. It's an NCERT class 11 book. It's not at all difficult. Don't underline anything. Don't highlight anything. Just read it like a storybook. Okay? Done? Keep it aside. 10 days, 10 chapters done. 11th day, start the first chapter again. Okay? This time, you can highlight some things you feel are important with a pencil. Pencil. Again, 10 days, 10 chapters. Third time, again, go and read. Now, this time, if you feel something is very important, highlight with a highlighter. Don't highlight the entire book only. Very important things must be highlighted. And that's it. The book is done. Next time you want to revise, just revise the highlighted things only. Are you clear? You can do this exercise for the next 30 days. You would have revised this book 3 times. Now you might say, sir, what is the point of reading this book? Actually, look at this. Since 2014, since BJP has come to power at center, there is always this debate going on in the country that, secularism is out of the window now in the country. Secularism is under threat in the country, etc. UPSC asks an exactly opposite question. It says, forget the threat. You tell me, what can other countries learn from Indian secularism? While in our country, discussions were going on going on with respect to what is the problem with Indian secularism, UPSC asks an exactly opposite question. What can countries like France learn from the Indian Constitution's approach to secularism? Okay? What can they learn from us? Now, this could be a very complicated question for all we know, but actually not. If you refer to political theory, there's a chapter called Chapter 8, which is secularism, which mentions this very point. Indian model of secularism versus Western model of secularism. And France is a representation of Western model of secularism. France, USA, etc. That book has the answer. That chapter has the exact answer to this question. You can see, after 5 years, a similar question is asked. Discuss India as a secular state and compare with the secular principles of the US Constitution. This time, 250 words. Direct question from that book. Are you clear? Only if we had studied that chapter 8, we could have very easily marked the answer from that book, right? But sadly, It never happened. See, Indian model of secularism. Clear? So please read that book. Not because this question came from that book, but otherwise also the book is very important. It will give you a lot of fodder material to follow. Clear? Now coming to our second book, this one. It has 10 chapters. This is the book that we'll be covering actually, not this book. The topics we'll be covering from here in our syllabus in a much more broader, manner, in a way broader manner. So, if you are in the first, second year, you can study this book. If you are somebody who is taking the exam in 2027 or 28, in both these cases, skip the book. But if you are somebody who is taking the exam in 29, 30, 35, 40, we don't know, then study the book because you have ample time. But nothing in this book is something you will get beyond the class. We'll be covering things in a much more deeper manner in the class. But yes, first year people, how many first year students are there here? Any first year college student? Second year? Third year? Final year? All of you are graduates? How many of you are attempting next year? How many of you are attempting in 28? Then when are you attempting the exam? This year? Oh. In 2026, the exam in May, June, this year, after 5 months. How many of you are taking the exam this year? Please raise your hand. Only 1, 2. And others then? 30. When I said 27, you were all quiet, so I was confused. So how many in 27, 28? Please raise your hand. Okay. So all of you, hopefully. Anybody beyond that? I mean, of course, luck, etc. But anybody whose attempt is not going to be next 2 years? No. Fair. Then I don't really see a need to study this book right now. Okay? Not really required. But if you want, but you should study this book. This will help your answer writing also in general. Clear? Okay. Beyond that, I hope you know very well that we have this book, Lakshmikant. What is that called? Bible of UPSC Polity and all that, it is said. This is the 8th edition. This is the 7th edition. Whichever edition you have, no problem. If you have the 7th one, don't purchase the 8th one. If you have the 6th one, don't purchase the 8th one. You can get the extra chapters photocopied. That's it. But if you have the first one, then purchase the 8th one. Okay. And this book is not to be read completely. I will tell you what to read, what not to read. Okay. This book has a lot of useless information. And this book is very good for prelims, but not for mains, sadly. So, this book has its limitations. Please understand. Apart from it, I would also request you to keep a copy of BEAR Act. You know what is BEAR Act? The Indian Constitution. You know, Rahul Gandhi shows that copy of the Constitution everywhere, the red bound book. That is also a BEAR Act only. It's a different publication. The EBC public. It's slightly costly because it's hardbound. Costs 700 rupees. You can purchase that also. Or any of these publications. Go to the shop, ask for BEAR Act of Indian Constitution. BEAR Act means all the articles written as it is. No explanation, nothing. Okay? When I teach you topics, I would mention important articles and I would expect you to go home and read those articles on your own. That also helps you create a sort of political language. It builds your political language. So when you write your answers, it reflects that technicality in language that is appreciated by the evaluator. Clear? And you can bring the books here also in case you want. I can help you out if you have any doubt with respect to some word you don't understand there, etc. Are you clear? So anyway, every aspirant should keep a copy of this. If not for studying, it will look nice in your bookshelf. You can take a selfie and post on Instagram that, sincere aspirant. Confuse everyone. Others get afraid of you, sincere aspirant. So please purchase this also. I have mentioned multiple publishers, professionals, different ones, or PM Bakshi. This is very popular, PM Bakshi, but I have no association with this fellow. I don't even know this fellow. No marketing is happening here. Okay, that's why I have made different photographs. Earlier I used to just have one PM Bakshi. It's very popular, that's why. Some student asked, sir, do you know PM Bakshi? I said, I don't know. And that is why I now have multiple photographs to avoid any marketing claim. And if somebody says, no sir, I have no money left now for all these things, no problem. You can Google search for the copy of Constitution of India, COI PDF. You will get the government's website, legislative.gov.in. On that website, you'll have the copy of the Indian Constitution free of cost in all the languages. Indian languages, not Chinese and Japanese. Download in all languages, no problem. But English one, please download. Others, your wish. Just 3-4 MB. 2-3 reels means 4 MB. Clear? Download that. Are we clear? We should read those articles on our own. So, beyond that, what else do we need? Nothing actually. So now let's also summarize our book list once and for all. Firstly, like every faculty, I have to say this, my class notes are amazing. No, you have to say this, right? So please follow my class notes. That's number one. Then a copy of Constitution of India that you should be following. Third, please read political theory. That is the NCERT class 11th book. And of course, keep a copy of Lakshmikant. Clear? Beyond that, what we need to follow is current affairs. Current affairs is required. Not too much, don't go crazy. So, of course, newspaper. You know, newspaper comes every day. Would you postpone it for Sunday? Sunday never comes. Same newspaper. Which one should you be studying? So, study either Indian Express or the Hindu. Not the new Indian Express. That is nonsense. Indian Express. So, if you have not actually devoted your heart, soul and mind to the Hindu, I would prefer you pick on Indian Express. But if you have already gotten emotionally attached to the Hindu, no problem. Both are almost the same. It is just that Indian Express is slightly more topical. It has better authors who are writing articles and all, but no difference. Clear? See, we can also follow other newspapers like Times of India and all. Those are great newspapers. A lot of fun. Which actor ran away with which actress, etc. All those news in Times of India. After the exam. Not before the exam. For exam, these things. After exam, you can read all those nonsensical things. Clear? Now, if you don't want to read the newspaper, it is perfectly fine. Still, I would prefer that you at least read the editorials of the newspaper on a daily basis. On your own. Editorials. Why? Not because of facts. Editorials don't give you factual information. They improve your answer writing skill. You get to understand how the author of the article is writing their argument, how they begin their point of view, how they move forward, how they change their opinion, how they come to second point, how they link their points, how they conclude their argument, etc. That helps answer writing. Are we clear? Beyond that, you should be reading any monthly magazine of any coaching institute. Do you have a monthly magazine here? Yes or no? Read that. No, every monthly magazine is the same only. Okay? Don't fall prey to this. Some monthly magazine will have different colored pages and font size and style. Content is the same because every monthly magazine is being made out of the same newspaper, same PIB, same things. Pick one and stick to one. 3 revisions every monthly magazine, mandatory. Clear? Beyond that, one more thing. Gist of Yojana and Kurukshetra. There are 2 magazines, Yojana and Kurukshetra. Very cheap, 22 rupees only. Don't purchase the magazine. Not required. Too much of useless information. Various coaching institutes collect the magazine. They make a gist summary of the articles there and publish on their website. Please type on Google gist of Yojana, any coaching institute, select, take a printout, keep it and mug it up. This gives you factual information. Those who follow this will see a marked improvement in their answers in paper 1, social issues, etc., in paper 2, in paper 3, economics, science and tech, etc., and also paper 4. And the difference can be anywhere from 30 to 60 marks. That's a huge difference. Please follow it. Right from today onwards, previous months, Yojana Kurukshetra, I'm sure they must have gotten the gist now. So, follow it. It does not really matter whether you know the topic or not. Mug up. Are you clear? That's it. Beyond this, in the class, what I will be doing for you is PYQs, previous year questions, both prelims and mains. We'll try to solve most of them. And what is a test situation here? Do you have tests? When? Sunday, every day, Saturday. Saturday. So you have no class on Saturday? Class is there. So that is taken care of by the institute. Beyond that, we'll have class test also. Okay? On what we teach, it'll be a surprise test only. On random days, we'll keep on having class test. Okay? 10 questions only, MCQs. So maybe once or twice every week, so that we get to understand where we are. Clear? So that is something I will worry about. You just have to attend it. After the class itself, once class is over, you can take the test, 15 minutes, and go home, enjoy. Don't worry, even if you get less marks, you won't call your parents. Okay, no problem. That's all that is required for the exam. Beyond that, this Saturday, we'll discuss answer writing, because then we'd have covered some ground. And then I can explain to you answer writing through some PYQs. So from next week onwards, we'll also incorporate mains questions. This week only prelims questions, because you have zero knowledge on polity. Are we clear? Depending on what we cover by Saturday. So that is going to be it for our book list. Okay. Any doubt, issue or concern? No doubts? Okay, great. No, because see, don't go crazy for any other kind of material. Oh, this is a 2. This read the question. With reference to Gucci, sometimes mentioned in news, consider the following statements. It is a fungus. Is Gucci a fungus? It grows in some Himalayan forest areas. It is commercially cultivated in the Himalayan foothills of northeastern India. Look at this Instagram handle. The rarest and the yummiest Gucci mushrooms, the most expensive mushrooms and are only found in Himalaya. They have mentioned everything. This question was asked in after this post. My point is, UPSC is following random Instagram handles also. But should we incorporate that as a part of our book list? Is my concern. Should we also use social media? I mean, see, I can't answer these questions. These questions need to be answered by you only. If you want, go for it. Okay. So, it's your choice completely to have social media, Instagram or not. Okay. So, this was it. I'm again reminding you, don't go crazy for new kind of notes. ARC report, this report, that report. We'll be covering whatever is required for the exam in the class itself. Okay. So I hope you will focus on the class notes, because there is no limit of collecting random PDFs and daydreaming. Okay. What is required is this. Don't do this. I hope this message is understood. Okay, great. Now, since this is just a first class, I would also want to cover some basic information. So we can just write basics as our heading. Once you did write the book list, I did not stop there. So also a couple of things. I will dictate things and I'll tell you to start writing. But otherwise also I might say a lot of things which might be important. Okay, and if I write something properly on the board, assume it is important and write it. Those are called running notes. Clear? So we have to cross the stage of spoon feeding. What all subjects have you covered so far for your UPSC preparation? Done. History done, science and tech done. Geography? Going on. And what else? Economics done. Half over. The rest half? Later on. Okay. That's great. So this is the first time I'm teaching a batch which has completed so many things. Normally, in various places, I start the batch, and that's the worst thing, because you have blank slates. I have to teach everything. Now you know a lot of things. My pressure, burden on me comes down. You're already senior aspirants now. Okay. So great, amazing. So we'll start with some basic information, and I'll also give you some plan on what we'll be following today or what we'll be following in our class. Firstly, some basic information. Please write. Heading basic information. First up, number 1. Constitution. See, this rule book, this entire book is divided into various parts. Like, your books also have various parts, topics. So, it has originally, this rule book had 22 different parts. But since we can also make amendments, we've added some parts, we have deleted some parts. So currently, this book has 25 parts. Okay? A lot of these parts are important. UPSC asks questions on these parts. Which part contains what? Like part 3 is fundamental rights, part 11 is center-state relations, part 9 is panchayats, etc. Now, under every part you have various provisions. Those are called articles. Articles are nothing but provisions in the constitutions. A constitution. Originally, we had 395 articles. So what we have done is, the last number has not been changed. If you look at the rule book, the last article is still 395. We keep on adding articles in between with a capital letter. For example, there is an article called 20. This article called 21. Then 22. Great, all okay. We wanted to add one article called right to education. So what we did was, we did not add it towards the end, 396. We inserted it in between here, calling it 21 capital A. That's an amendment. So please notice this. If you find a capital letter to any article attached, that's a later addition. Are you clear? That's how we keep on adding new things. Last number is the same. But currently we have around 470 articles. If you search for this on your Google, etc., they'll give it 448 or something. I don't know why. But roughly 470 articles are there now. Clear? Every article has some clause also. Clause and sub-clause. It can vary. We'll see when the time comes. Also, very important. Towards the end of our constitution, there are some things called schedules. Like, in your book also, any book, towards the end you have references, right? You might call it footnote, references, appendix, whatever. Same thing, schedule. As and when the time comes, we'll discuss these schedules. Originally, 8 schedules were there. Now we have 12 schedules. Write this. Below schedules, please write what exactly is a schedule. I'll just define it right below this only. Done? So below schedule, please write in bracket. Footnotes, F-O-O-T, foot, notes, slash, references, added to the end of the constitution, added to the end of the constitution, providing fuller, F-U-L-L-E-R, fuller understanding, F-U-L-L-E-R, fuller understanding of articles. Are you clear? So when we see schedule, you will get to understand that this is what it means. Also, one more thing, if I want to make any kind of change in the constitution, amendments. How can amendments be? How are amendments denoted? So, very simple. Number, Constitutional Amendment Act, or you can also write like this, A/A, and then write the year of amendment. This is how the amendment is referred to. To give you a simple example, I can say First Amendment Act 1951. What does this mean? the Indian Constitution was amended for the first time in 1951? If I say 42nd Amendment Act 1976, what do I mean? Amended for the 42nd time in the year 76. Please understand, with a single amendment, multiple places can be modified. And in 1 year, multiple amendments can be made. Both things are allowed. Are we clear? Of course, it makes sense. In 76 years, we have made 106 amendments. This means in a single year, more than one changes can be made. Clear on this? One more thing to understand here is that when I refer to amendments, this is what I am referring to. Otherwise, I will say modification. Clear? So this is for amendments. Clear? Should we proceed now? All the provisions in the Constitution are called articles. But if there is some other law, like RPA is a law, we saw that RPA, Representation of People's Act. It also has provisions. We don't call them articles, we call them sections. Other laws have provisions called sections, section 1, section 2, section 3. But constitutional provisions are called what? Articles. Article 1, Article 2, Article 3. Difference has to be understood. Okay. Next heading, right? Types of bodies. Types of bodies. We know very well. Number 1, constitutional bodies. Spelling is here. Don't draw the diagram of Ambedkar and all. Just write the name. Okay. You can go home and you can sketch, no problem. Constitutional. Done. What is the meaning of a constitutional body? Mentioned in the, give a dash and write. Bodies mentioned in the Constitution. Bodies mentioned in the Constitution. Okay. Below that, examples. ECI, comma UPSC, comma FC, Finance Commission, comma NCSC, comma NCST, etc. NCBC. Clear? Various such bodies. Done? Number 2, statutory bodies. Spelling here. Statutory. Give a dash and write. Bodies established through an act of legislature. Bodies established through an act of legislature. Examples. Lokpal, NHRC. You know NHRC? National Human Rights Commission. NHRC, comma NCW. What is NCW? National Commission for Women, comma NCM. What is M? Not men. There is no commission for men. Minorities. Okay. Though in Delhi, some men have formed a body and they are demanding from the government that we should also set up a commission for men. Right? So, let's see. As of now, there is no official commission. Okay. Add CVC. CVC stands for Central Vigilance Commission. You'll get to know all these full forms as and when you proceed, etc. Enough. Okay. Third one now. Number 3. Executive. Executive. Give it action, right? Bodies established by government notification. Government notification. In bracket, write order. Notification means order. Government notification. 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 In bracket, order. Example, CBI. You know CBI? CBI is used by center to harass the states, so to expose wrongdoings across the country. Niti Aayog. That's also an example of what? Executive body. Ministries. Ministries are also executive bodies only. We'll discuss how ministries are formed later on. Is this point clear to all? No problem. Great. Highly intellectual crowd. Amazing. Solve this question. You don't know all the information. Take a guess. Don't worry. You have to answer today only, actually. So, please tell me. Only one. Others? Yes, this side. Women empowerment, something. Others. Skip. Next question. Okay. Consider the following organizations. The question says, how many of the above are constitutional bodies? So NCBC is actually correct. Right. We saw that. We have mentioned that also. And this is a statutory body. So all 4 is not the answer. See, consumer disputes. Why would consumer disputes be a constitutional body? Makes no sense. It is actually a statutory body. It was formed in 1988 under a law called Consumer Protection Act. And Law Commission is an executive body. So when you study in further, you'll get to understand what this Law Commission is. So this also is eliminated. Right answer is A, only 1. So expect similar kind of questions, a bit of knowledge, bit of common sense, and we can solve these questions. I just gave it here, slightly challenging right now because you're just beginning to know polity. So you don't know certain things. It's okay. Don't panic at all. Okay. Next heading, please write. Organs of government. Organs of state, sorry. Organs of state. Organs of state. In bracket or below that, once you wrote that, write like this. Separation of power. separation of power. So when I am referring to separation of power, I'll refer to organs of state. Okay. One more thing. The heading you wrote, what is that? Organs of state. What is meant by state? Andhra Pradesh, Telangana. Country. Then how is your state different from this state? Is India a state? Is Andhra Pradesh a state? Then what's the difference? This state is a term from political science. Okay? State has certain characteristics. So when we refer to state in polity, we don't refer to normally the states per se. We refer to a body which has 4 features. Tell me, what makes a state a state? What do you think? You said India is a state, right? And you said Telangana is also a state. What makes it state? Territory. Okay. Oh, wait. Fixed boundary. Let's use a slightly better term. Fixed boundary. Okay. Population. Fixed population. Oh. Elected government. Very good. And there should be sovereignty. These 4 features make a state a state. Are we clear? Write on one side of your notes. Just 10 minutes back I said this. If I'm writing something nicely on the board, write it. No, I know this actually. You should know this. That is why draw margins in every page of yours to write this kind of information only. Don't save pages. Fixed boundary, a fixed population, elected government or organized government, and sovereignty. We can write elected and in bracket or organized. Both things are okay. Sometimes you might not have an elected government. An organized government. Are they clear? Anyway, let's get back to our discussion. We're discussing separation of powers. So first organ now, right? The first organ of state, legislature, you know very well. What's the task of legislature? Dash, make laws. Look at the grand building where these innocent politicians sit and make amazing laws, which they don't understand. Legislature, dash, make laws. Done? Now, see, the problem is that these laws are complicated. Our MPs are innocent people. They can't understand all these things. So, for better understanding, we have the second organ called judiciary. Number 2, judiciary. Now, the task of judiciary is what? 2 things. Number 1, interpret laws, and number 2, resolve what? Disputes. Somebody has to explain to the MPs what law they have made. Judiciary interprets the laws. Clear? Please understand one thing. In our country, the Supreme Court is a final interpreter of all the laws, including the Constitution. Just below this, put a star mark and write SC is the final interpreter. That is why we say, what is a law? A law is what the judge says it is. Okay, that's the meaning of law. Whatever law you make is of no concern. The law interpreted by the judge, that is the final meaning of the law. Are we clear? That's the power of judiciary. So they safeguard our constitution, they protect it. Second organ. Clear? Before we move on, can you solve this question? Came in 2015. Who or which of the following is the custodian? What is the meaning of custodian? Custodian, caretaker. Guardian. Custodian or guardian of the Indian Constitution. Who is that? Very good. Supreme Court. Now before you write, come back here and below this, write custodian of Constitution. So for our class purpose, I will use this as a symbol for Constitution. You can also use this for notes, not in answer writing. Always, your letter has no idea what have you written here. What is the symbol? Copyright. So we'll use this for class. Saves time. Custodian of Constitution. Are we clear? Who is the custodian? Oh, amazing. Now the third organ. What is a third organ? Executive. What is the task of executive? Implement laws. Okay, fair. Who brings proposals in the parliament? Government, right? Who decides foreign policy? Minister. Government. Who decides social policy? Government. Who makes economic policies? Who maintains law and order? Government. Every other thing in this country is being done by government only. Right? So government's or executive task is not just to implement the laws, but to initiate policies, to initiate proposals for laws, to make economic policy, decide foreign policy, ensure law and order. Everything in the country is executive's task. Clear? So when you wrote executive, now besides that, start writing. Number 1, initiating proposals for legislation. Initiating proposals for legislation. Number 2, deciding foreign policy. Next, determining economic and social welfare. Determining economic and social welfare. Next, maintaining law and order. Next, implementing laws, etc. I hope this point is clear. So everything in this country except 2 functions, judicial functions and the legislative functions, everything in this country is being done by the executive only. Are we clear? So now, from now onwards, don't say executive task is implementing laws. It's way beyond that. Executive function is implementing laws is for noobs, kids. You are legends. Use this idea. Clear? And Supreme Court has said the same thing in one very old judgment. Ram Jawaya Kapoor. Change the paragraph, put a star mark and write this statement. I'll dictate. Please write. All functions in the country except legislative and judicial are government functions. Are government in bracket executive. Are government in bracket executive, close the bracket, functions. Give a dash and write Ram Javaya Kapoor 1955. This is a Supreme Court judgment case, the case name. You can also remember this as R.J. Kapoor. No special marks will be given if you write Ram Javaya, full name, father's name, mother's name, not required. Ram Javaya Kapoor 1955. Okay, this is an old judgment actually. In this case, again, case story is not important. What had happened was Punjab, they issued an order. So a lot of these local companies in Punjab, they were making school textbooks. Okay, government issued the order saying that only we will make school textbooks, or we will decide what you can add in school textbooks and what you cannot. Okay, so people challenge this in court, saying that this is not government's task to tell us what to add in school books and what to not add in school books. Then the Supreme Court said in that reference that no, everything in this country is government's task, except those two functions, judicial functions and legislative functions. Are we clear? That shows the importance of executive in the country. Are you clear? Okay. That's about it. Now, beyond that, one more thing. We need to understand executive. What is the part of executive? So, write the heading. Executive. Political. And then we have what? Permanent. Who are these people? People like you, civil servants. You will become permanent executive if you clear the exam. That is a very important condition actually. So, civil servants. So we have 4 groups of civil servants, group A, B, C and D. 4 categories of civil servants. Like amongst group A also you have various IAS officer categories. After your section officer's post, the term is called secretary. Okay. So you become what? Any idea? Under secretary, junior most post in the ministry, under secretary. Then you get promoted and then you become deputy secretary. In some department, there is a post called director. So it's more like an intermediate kind of post, director, above deputy and below joint secretary. Now here you are reaching the policy making authority, middle management level. around 17, 18 years and you are a joint secretary. 15 years in fact, depending on your performance. Above that, you end up becoming the additional secretary. And then finally, secretary. These are the 5+1 IAS officer posts at central level. And who is the senior most IAS in the country? Secretary is in the ministry. Every ministry has one secretary, multiple secretaries. Senior most IAS is called cabinet secretary. Okay? In your state, the senior most IAS is called chief secretary. Okay? You can write below this. Senior most civil servant is the cabinet secretary. Senior most. Write like this. Cabinet secretary in bracket country. Chief secretary in bracket state. Are you done here? Now coming to your real bosses who will give you orders which you will have to follow are the political executive. At the C stands for center. At the center you have president. Below him VP. Below him PM. And his entire council of ministers. PM. Then write CUMs. Council of Ministers. One more person. Tell me. No. Sorry? Very good. Attorney General. He is a lawyer of the government. These 5 people are a part of Union Executive. Okay, Union Political Executive. ATTORNEY, Attorney General. Clear so far? We'll be discussing all about them in detail. Don't worry. And at the state level, please tell me. At the top we have governor, then vice governor. In some states, no. There is no vice governor. Don't create your own posts. Okay. Directly CM and the Council of Ministers. And just like a lawyer for central government, you have a lawyer for state government also, who is called Advocate General. Okay. Are we clear on this, everyone? So this is the executive. Should we proceed? Done? Okay. Just basic information now. Next we have, write the heading. Legislature. At the central union level, we have 2 houses. One house is called House of People. We are in India. House of People. House of Commons, UK. This house is what is called Lok Sabha. And then we have one more house called Council of States, which you know commonly as Rajya Sabha. Okay. Both these houses have these amazing people called MPs. MP stands for Member of Parliament. This is what is the Parliament. Similarly, at the state side, we have something called the state legislature, which will have again two houses. One is called Legislative Assembly. This is in all the states. And people here are called MLAs. Some states have a body called Legislative Council. In 6 states, the the people here are called MLCs. MLC stands for Member of Legislative Council. Write this. Tell me 6 states. What the hell? Who are these 6 states? Okay, relax. Write this first. We can write on the side the names of 6 states also. Done? All okay? Names now, please tell me. 6 states which have councils. Except Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. Except these 2. UP, okay. Bihar, okay. 2. West Bengal, no. Karnataka, okay. One more. Large state. Highly industrial. Maharashtra. Not Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra. Okay. The names of these 6 states are Andhra Pradesh, Bihar, Karnataka, Maharashtra, Telangana and UP. These 6 states have councils. Now, why only these 6 states, etc., we'll discuss later on. Done? I have arranged in alphabetical order to avoid any confusion between Andhra and Telangana, which to write first. Healthy competition. How many of you are from Andhra Pradesh? And Telangana? Oh, clearly. Any other state? How many are from Karnataka? Karnataka. Okay. Any other state beyond that? No. Foreigners? No, of course. Okay, now third is judiciary. That's our. Should we move on now from this? All done? Okay. Great. Then lastly, judiciary. At the top we have the Supreme Court, supremely powerful, interfering everywhere, giving judgments on every topic possibly. How many Supreme Courts do we have? Only one Supreme Court is enough, with 34 judges. Below that we have High Courts, which have, how many High Courts do we have? 20? Very good, 20. How many judges? 1122 judges. So 25 High Courts are there with these many judges. And below that we have the subordinate courts. So the exact number of courts is not fixed because a single court will have multiple court halls. we have roughly 26,000 judges. Exact number is 25,800, but 26,000 judges. Are we clear? So we have something called an integrated judiciary, meaning decisions of lower court are challenged in higher courts. Hence, we have independent and integrated judiciary. Okay. One more thing to please understand is that in our country, the Supreme Court and High Courts, these are referred to as the constitutional courts. Both these courts. This means even high courts have the power to interpret the Constitution. Are we clear? Even high courts can cancel central laws. I am repeating this again. Hear me out first. High courts also can cancel central laws. Clear? Supreme Court, of course, can cancel central laws. Both of them are constitutional courts. And in our country, we have a very unique concept which is called judicial review. Once you write this below now, put a star mark and write judicial review. Please remember this point. Hear me out first. This phrase is not mentioned anywhere in the Constitution. It exists in the implied manner, not directly mentioned. Okay? Once you write all this, I'll dictate the definition of judicial review. I think you know this already. What does it mean? It simply means that the Supreme Court and High Courts can review any executive or legislative action in the country on the grounds of constitutional validity, meaning government orders, government actions, parliamentary laws. They should all be in conformity with the Constitution. If they are not, court can cancel it. That's called judicial review. Please write. Write the first point below this. Courts can check the constitutional validity. Courts can check the constitutional validity of legislative and executive actions. Can check the constitutional validity of legislative and executive actions. Clear? Second point, right? Part of basic structure. Part of basic structure. Now in bracket, write besides the same point, though not mentioned in the Constitution. Though not mentioned in the Constitution. Done? Close the bracket. So this is for our judiciary. Okay. What's the class timing? 11 to 1:30 or 1? Oh, 1. Okay. Great. Then. What we'll do is we'll just write one heading. We'll cover that tomorrow. That heading, please write division of power. 5-minute topic. We'll cover it tomorrow. Not separation of power, division of power. In bracket, write like this. Spatial distribution of functions. Spatial distribution of functions. And here itself put a colon in the heading and write schedule 7. That's your heading. We'll discuss this tomorrow. I think you know this 3 lists and all that nonsense. Tomorrow we will start our discussion on the topics formally. Okay. Also to explain to you the structure that we'll follow, just 2 more minutes. We won't be starting with the preamble, etc., because it creates confusion. If we start with preamble, I have to explain everything to you, and we have to assume a lot of things. We want to avoid assumptions. So we will start with a different pattern. We'll start by discussing the executive first. President, PM, don't worry, it works very well. Okay. Then we'll discuss the parliament, legislature. Then we'll discuss the state executive and state legislature. And then local self-government. And then judiciary, including all the issues, concerns of judiciary, independence, pendency, tribunals, lok adalats, everything. This will take almost half of the class. Once this is done, your LEJ are over. 70 to 80% questions come from this only. Done. Then we'll move on to elections. That's one more important topic. Once this is done, we'll discuss all these miscellaneous provisions like Part 1, Union, Citizenship, UTs, etc. From there, questions sometimes come on and off. So, Part 1, Part 2, UTs, which includes Article 370, etc. Then, Schedule 5 and 6 areas. Then, emergency provisions. And again, one more important topic, center-state relations, which is nothing but a revision of all these things and with some new information. This is the second phase of your polity coverage. Once this part is done, we have finished every possible thing with respect to the administrative side. And then we'll start discussing fundamental rights. This will take some time, normally a 10 to 12 hour topic. Like Parliament. Parliament is also almost 8-10 hours topic. This also will take some time. Just this rights thing takes at least 10 hours of time. Then DPSPs, very simple. Rest are very small topics, half an hour topics. Official languages. Finally, we'll end our discussion with preamble and making of the Indian Constitution, salient features, etc. So this is going to be our flow. I'm doing nothing unique. In fact, the makers of our Constitution also passed the preamble in the end. I'm simply following the great makers. How dare I teach it differently? So don't worry, this pattern works very well, is very easy. All you have to do is go home, revise every day. Are they clear? Okay. So that is all for me. Let's meet tomorrow. Jai Hind.